Hello, everyone. My name is Genesis Marquez Campos, and I am a rising senior majoring in nursing. And welcome to my presentation about the widespread of poverty. To the introduction. Poverty, money, and financial hardships can be a very sensitive topic for many to discuss. As a college student, I care about poverty in the United States because poverty affects us all. Even if you yourself are not struggling with poverty directly, that does not mean it isn't affecting you. It isn't affecting you. And if you want to learn more about this, just keep listening through this presentation. Poverty is an important topic to discuss, especially in 2024 after the pandemic, because it directly affects millions of individuals and families, not only in the United States, but globally. Fun fact, the United States has the highest poverty rate compared to other developed countries. And this is something that needs to change, don't you think? So the three subtopics that I discussed within my paper are: how does poverty affect our nation's economy? How does poverty, um, how does living in poverty, how do people living in poverty lack resources compared to people that don't live in poverty? How poverty does not discriminate. So, for example, anyone despite race, ethnicity, age, gender can be infected by poverty. The state of the topic. Poverty is such a big issue, and I want to capture it in different points of view. So these are the different points of view that I captured it. So let's start with fighting poverty throughout the globe. So there are over 7 million people throughout the world struggling with poverty. Now, I don't know about you, but that's a lot of people. And the United Nations understand that there are a lot of people. And they acknowledge that every single person matters, but there's too many to help all at once. So they're putting their efforts on helping the underdeveloped countries that are struggling with poverty first, and they will basically build their way up the ladder to helping everyone else. Okay, next. So fighting poverty in the United States. The United States has many resources that people who qualify for could benefit from. For example, housing benefits, SNAP, WIC, etc. With that being said, you must fall below the poverty line to benefit from these resources. So what about the individuals and families that make $5 over the poverty line? They are also struggling, but do not qualify for benefits. So this is something that we need to recognize and think about, because this is a reality for many individuals. Fighting poverty in Massachusetts. So here's a closer look. Here's a closer look. Look at Massachusetts has many resources that are helping fight poverty. For example, they have child care vouchers, SNAP, housing assistance. There are also local food pantries that are available that you do not have to show proof of income. And this can help many individuals that fall above the poverty line. There are many local resources in each state. So I would definitely recommend you guys to look at the states you guys reside in and search for benefits that you might qualify in if you're looking for assistance. So statistics. Poverty is impacting millions of individuals, and here's the quick look into the problem. So poverty in the world. There are over 7 million people struggling in poverty. That's a lot of people. poverty in the United States. There are 37.9 million people struggling with poverty. And in Massachusetts, here is the number that are struggling. Despite it getting smaller from worlds to the United States to Massachusetts, we have to understand and acknowledge that these are not just numbers, these are people, and we have to stop looking at the data as just digits, just as numbers, because they are people and they do matter, and we need to take action to solve this. So the research proposal that I came up with is basically poverty is an issue that could easily be decreased if we give people an opportunity to get back on their feet. This study would recruit 24 homeless participants in Worcester wanting to change their lives and start a new one back up again. We would create a self-maintained housing village where homeless individuals will get a place to stay for a period of 6 to 12 months. The housing village would have many resources to help build their life back up again. For example, free dental checkups, free medical checkups, job fairs to connect them with different employers, free trainings, free trainings and workshops to build their resumes up, so there are strong candidates to be selected for jobs, as well as addiction and counseling services. These are some of the many resources that this housing village would provide to them. Within the program, we would interview each participant every 2 months and then every year for 10 years to see if our program had an impact on their lives. The purpose of the study is to erase the stereotype that homeless people are bums or they're lazy people or that they're crackheads, and that they are people just like you and me that are just struggling to survive. So future research. This research would be a long-term study. Thus, it would be pretty much impossible to complete in 3 months. In a 3-month semester. Thus, it would keep many students busy for years to come. What I would ask the fall semester of 2024 students to do is for assistance in multiple efforts, such as searching for grants and doing some grant writing, doing community outreach to find volunteers that would help maintain the program. For example, volunteers such as nurses or doctors that are willing to provide free care, volunteer for a short period of time, as well as I would ask the 2024 students, fall 2024 students, for help doing community outreach in search of participants that are willing to change their lives for the better. Does anyone have any questions? Feel free to leave the questions in the comments below in this video. And here are the references I used for my paper as well as this presentation. Lastly, thank you for listening to my presentation. Again, if you have any questions about my presentation, feel free to email me or comment below in this video.